Hi, this is Scott DeCamp of CatchMark SportsNet. This is our weekly profile, and today we have a special guest. It's Cody Cater, Montague native, newly minted Reeths-Puffer head football coach. Congratulations first, Cody, on that, and thanks for coming in and joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So what was that experience like, just the whole process of going from Tift County, where you were last season, just this most recent season, to getting hired at Reeths-Puffer, to being introduced?
It's been a really exciting time in in my life. I'm trying to kind of slow things down a little bit as we go through this, just so I can kind of capture the moment. I'm really excited just to get my boots on the ground and really try to assess the situation there and hit the ground, run it.
We had you on a Power Hour show recently over at North Grove, and your parents were there for that along with your wife Hannah. How important is family, and in this decision to come back home, how big of a role did family play, and you wanted to be back and being around that family?
Right, I think you want to experience as many things, and in my profession I was trying to gain a lot of experience from different coaches so they could prepare me for this moment, to be the head coach. And at the end of this, I always wanted to be a head coach. At a larger school, in the state of Michigan. That was the end goal. I wanted to be able to do that. And this opportunity here at Reeths-Puffer, kind of came about after Thanksgiving break, and it was one of those opportunities that I had circled, in places that I would come back to. And being alongside of them, those guys taught me so much. I mean, my parents, respect and loyalty have still are used in my life today. And my wife is from the area as well, and she's excited to be around family again and just have a new perspective on what we do want out of our life together now that we're newly married.
Think about the calendar year that you've had. I don't know when you were officially hired at Reeths-Puffer. I know the announcement came out, at least it hit media, hit social media, New Year's Day, but look back with Montague, your season extended into January. You won the state title, third state title. You helped win the first two. Back as a player, everyone knows about your history as a player at Montague, and then on into college playing at the D1 level.
Right.
But just think about coaching at Montague, finishing your 6th year there. Then you get married in the summer. Well, and then before that, actually, I think you had, you end up going to Tift. You take the job at Tift County. You're making that transition. Then you get married, and then you're coaching football down in the South. And now, barely before the year's even up, you're back here as the head coach. I mean, how much of a whirlwind has that year been?
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind. I mean, no risk, no reward, right? And I think that's kind of how this kind of panned out. But yeah, I think if looking back on this calendar year, it was one of those places where it takes you 10 years to become an overnight sensation, right? So I mean, there was a lot of hard work that happened in Montague for the last 6 years, and that's with the football program, but also with the girls basketball program. There was a lot of moments, and experiences that needed hard work to get over, an obstacle. And so I think that's something, that some people don't put into play, is that you've got to put the work in, and then some things just do happen once you risk. And I think, from that hard work and then taking now a few risks, in my career path, I have been, given the opportunity to get somewhere that I've always wanted to be. And this was the end goal, was, to be a head coach, at a local school that is hungry for success. But, from the girls basketball, having that undefeated season, at Montague, first one ever in school history, and then to have that back-to-back conference championship, meant so much, to the basketball community at Montague, but also to the girls, that put all of that hard work in. and now, yeah, to be married, getting married out in Colorado, and that was an experience all by itself. Having 55, 60 friends and family out there, that's something we'll cherish for the rest of our lives.
So being at Reeths-Puffer now, taking over that program, what do you see it is that program, those kids need? And then how do you get to the point where Reeths-Puffer's measuring up to like the Muskegans and the Mona Shores and the other great programs of the world?
Right, I think we, being the only school that in Muskegon County that didn't, make the playoffs, that's a conversation to be had, and it's got to be an honest, real conversation. But I think the pieces that are in play have already had that conversation, with admin teams and leadership. So they're already trying to design a new, kind of format to ensure that their kids, the Reeths-Puffer kids are truly, having that experience that they deserve. Instead of getting on that treadmill and just running, you get on the treadmill and you chase something down. And I think that's what we're trying to, bring to the hallways, is that we've got to stop running just to run and then make excuses, and then, we've got to find a way to get on that treadmill and chase down those dreams and those goals that, that we're going to create as a program.
You've been part of championships as a player and as a coach. Montague's smaller than the Reeths-Puffer, but are there certain characteristics, certain things, certain way you carry yourself that it can be done at that bigger school?
Yeah, I think it's a similar demographic. I can't say that there's a ton of characteristics, 'cause I've only been there for a few days. Looking back on my time at Montague, there's definitely some characteristics that I'm finding within that community as well. But looking at those championship teams, even with my time at GRCC, within my time with girls basketball, within my time with Montague football, and with my time even, just around Noel Dean and talking about, those championship, characteristics. It is truly about character. And I think too, I just touched on it a little bit, at the meet and greet, but we've really truly got to build a wall around that place. I feel like my time back at Montague, we built a wall around Montague and kind of, secluded ourselves from a lot of other things, and we ensured that our main focus was always within the conversation, and it wasn't about things that we couldn't control. And we're going to try to imitate that as much as we can at Reeths-Puffer.
All right, well, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it. Again, this is Cody Cater, the new Reeths-Puffer football coach. This is Scott DeCamp with CatchMark SportsNet. Thanks for watching, everybody.